Let's get straight to this. This time is well and truly different for Bitcoin. Things are happening that have never happened before, which leads me to speculate that maybe I'm wrong and I'm not nearly bullish enough on the reality for what's coming here. Maybe I'm mid-curving this whole thing, aka I'm an idiot. I should bet more. What if this cycle takes everyone by surprise and does something truly unexpected? Well, we need to see things breaking already in our models, something that basically show that everyone's wrong. Well, let's look at what just happened because that's exactly what is happening. Something has never happened before just happened, and it could be an early indicator that this cycle is going to be way crazier than we think it is. But in order to understand the context, let's look at the last cycle and throw a nice little Fibonacci retracement here so that you can see that from the time of the market bottom to the post Bitcoin halving price highs. You need to get past the Bitcoin halving, then you get a price high. We never once closed a weekly candle above the orange line. That orange line represents the 0.618 Fibonacci line. Now, we did have a nice rally in 2019, as this chart here shows, that got rejected from the 0.618 line, but never have we crossed over that line before the Bitcoin halving. That is until now. By the way, it took over 1 year from the time we crossed over the 0.618 in 2020 until the market hit a peak high in 2021 at 70K, a number which, by the way, was around the 3.618 on the Fibonacci lines. Interesting, right? More on that in a minute. I could show you the previous cycles and you would see something very, very similar playing out that looks kind of like all that right there. But let's look at the current cycle. One example is enough. You see, this cycle, it was all going just fine. Everything is going to plan. We had a strong rejection for the 0.618 line, basically on the day of the Bitcoin ETF starting trading, as the green arrow on the chart shows here. But then something strange happened. Things didn't go according to plan. You see, after that cheeky little 20% sell-off following the ETF approval, the markets started pumping. In fact, they pumped so hard, that something happened that has never happened before. We started trading over the 0.618 line before the Bitcoin halving, which has never happened before, and essentially is happening 9 months ahead of schedule from what we would likely expect to happen based on our 4-year models and all that kind of stuff. Now, the models that we've used before could be completely broken at this point. So what happens next could follow none of our modeling. But for reference, previously, when we broke the 0.618 line, in all cases, we had about a year before the market peaked, meaning that this cycle could peak earlier than previous cycles, which tend to peak about 18 months post Bitcoin halving. We could see February next year be a likely market peak time, and maybe price-wise around $100,000, maybe a little over $200,000, which if we take the 3.618 fib line, that one again, as guidance, since this is where the previous cycle topped out, that's where the green arrow is pointing on the chart, then that could be around $200,000, $215,000. Now, last cycle, we spent about a few weeks in total trading over the 3.618 line, so it'll be a very short sell window there. The 2.618 line, the orange arrow here, is a very interesting area too, where you should probably consider starting to book in profits, starting to ladder out. Last cycle, we spent a few months over the 2.618 line on the Fibonacci charts. The average price during that time was over $47,000, aka a nice and profitable time to sell for most market participants. But maybe none of that matters because BlackRock has fundamentally changed the game. They've broken the charts and none of this matters anymore. And before we break that down, I just want to let you know about Wealth Mastery, the best and most alpha-packed newsletter in the entire cryptocurrency industry. Every single issue contains money-making insights on altcoins, airdrops, NFTs, technical analysis charts, deep dives, on-chain data, and much, much more. Join our 100,000 plus weekly readers for free using the link down below. Now, everything I've just said, I think was pretty interesting. Don't you? But perhaps the models just don't really matter anymore. We have essentially activated an infinite bid of Wall Street money for Bitcoin. The Bitcoin ETF, as I have said many times before, is a once-in-a-market liquidity event. Inflows in the last few weeks have been in the billions. We are seeing days where BlackRock and friends are buying 10x more Bitcoin than the miners are producing. That's insane numbers. That's completely unsustainable to current prices. The only solution is for the price to go up. Bitcoin has just opened the doors for tens of billions, literally, of cash to flow into this asset class. The models we have based all of our thinking on for Bitcoin could be obsolete. Still have to prove that. Just because one thing's broken doesn't mean everything's obsolete. But look, maybe even Wall Street was not fully ready for what's coming here. Even the gold ETF may not be a great parallel because gold has a lot of features unlike Bitcoin. For example, the supply is infinite, the supply is unknown. And let's face it, gold's never had 1/10 of the popularity of Bitcoin. Gold holder, by the way, so not totally hitting on gold. And while gold ETFs were wildly bullish, the economics of gold have never been anywhere near as bullish as they are for Bitcoin. Think about it. Bitcoin, 21 million coins, max supply, 6 million coins lost forever, 75% of the coins in the hands of total fanatics who have exited fiat and are not coming back. Bitcoin halving in April, coming at the time of unprecedented rising demand in the market. And without any of those wildly bullish features, gold still went up a few 100% in the 7 years post ETF approval. I firmly believe that Bitcoin will go on to match and likely exceed the market cap of gold because it is the inherently superior asset. Could happen as soon as the end of this decade. Now that gives us a per coin price, just matching the market cap of gold, $650,000. So Bitcoin can go from $1 trillion to $13 trillion total market cap. This is a gain bigger than the gold ETFs brought in. But Bitcoin, again, has better economics that can help the price pump that much. And probably in an even shorter time frame than gold did. Bitcoin is the most hyped and best performing asset of the century. It's the apex predator of money. It's the Giganotosaurus or the T-Rex of cash, of internet money. And now people can buy it just by opening up their favorite investing app. Click, 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 click. Oh, I have some Bitcoin now. And then you consider that Hong Kong's bringing Bitcoin ETFs, Korea's bringing Bitcoin ETFs, Europe's already got it, Brazil's got it, Canada's got it. And you realize then that all of this is happening with a supply crisis in the background, just adding fuel to the fire. There is simply not enough coins to meet demand. Supply on exchanges is at a multi-year low right now. It hasn't been this low since like 2015, 2016. Retail buyers are still completely asleep to what is going on. The retail herd hasn't even shown up yet. And there's like $6 trillion in money market fund accounts right now earning 5%, which is laughable, of course, compared to Bitcoin gains. What happens when the Fed starts cutting rates? Where does that money go? At least a few percent is coming to Bitcoin. 1% of that $6 trillion, $6 billion, which is a lot of Bitcoin. Nation states are coming. Okay, UAE, Oman, these guys are paying attention. Corporations are coming. Family offices are coming. Millionaires are coming. Billionaires are coming. Basically, the whole world is underexposed to Bitcoin right now. And the hard, cold truth is that there is not even close to enough for them to buy. As much as they might want to buy it, it doesn't exist for them. They don't have it on the market because you were here first. You got it first. And here's the thing with Bitcoin. The price in 5 to 10 years is extremely likely to be much higher. And all you have to do is nothing. Just hold and wait. Now you can play the sell at 200K and rebuy at 50K game. But if you have balls of steel and you like a bit of suffering and pain, you can just hold on, man. You can just hold. I have strong conviction that Bitcoin is going to $1 million per coin. I have a huge Bitcoin bag. The only question is when it's going to get to $1 million per coin. And that when could come sooner than we think because the models, as we have used them and have understood them in this market, are starting to be broken by the infinite money glitch that has been turned on thanks to BlackRock and friends. Let me know in the comments what year you think Bitcoin is going to hit $1 million. My money's on 2033, but 2029, also an interesting possibility. Let me know your thoughts down below. Peace.